Yo, welcome back to the Splat Sports Podcast. I'm Hunter McCormick.
I'm Grant Russell.
Bear Roberts.
Yes, we're in a little bit of a new setup. This is a bit of a time crunch episode because we all have very busy weekends. Uh, I'm sure we could talk about them sometime later. Nothing really big to talk about. Lot of sports going on this week. Conference championships are happening right now as we speak. Lamar and the Ravens are taking off Mahomes and the Chiefs right now. I don't know what the score is. I'm not watching it. I'm more focused on this right now.
I think they're losing.
They are
They're down
losing.
14-7 with like 1 minute left in the second quarter.
It's a shame. Go Ravens.
Yeah,
I'm sure we all are going to cheer for the Ravens as well.
no, we're not.
That's probably who we want to win. Oh, okay. G-Russ, who do you want to win then? We'll just jump
The
into it.
other team,
Why?
why? Because I don't think Lamar
Yeah.
is as good as everybody says he is.
So you'd rather have Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift beat the Ravens and have to deal with all of that
Taylor Swift has been on the
publicity
field.
and not actually getting to watch the Super Bowl instead of having to
Is Jason
watch
Kelsey there? If
camera?
Jason Kelsey's there, I'm sure as hecker for the Chiefs.
He probably will be there, but
I don't know. I just don't think Lamar should be MVP. Everybody
Who
thinks
who else then? Who else then?
McCaffrey. If Mahomes wins this game, it should be Mahomes.
hmm,
No, not
no.
at all. That's
Okay.
probably one of the worst things you've ever said on this podcast. And you said a lot of bad stuff.
The
I'm
comments,
not gonna lie.
the comments agree with me that
Yeah, all six of them.
that's still 100%.
Okay.
All right, tonight we got the NFC Championship. Lions taking on the 49ers. I think that we all want the Lions to win, but probably going to be the 49ers. And Grant, what's going on,
No,
man?
I do want the Lions to win. I just thought it was funny.
What?
Well, because you're like, I assume all of us actually want the Lions to win. I actually
Yeah,
do.
I want the Lions to win, but the 49ers are going to win.
You
That's what's going
sure?
to happen.
You're the Brock
Yeah,
Purdy lover.
don't hate me. I know somebody else who's a Brock Purdy lover, and then that kind of fizzled away. Anyway, um, who you got?
Uh, as much as it pains me to say this, I gotta go with the 49ers. Obviously, I want the Lions to win, but I just think 49ers are a more complete team. They've got a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of defensive weapons as well. I think it'll be a good, close game, but I think just the 49ers' overall skill will just show a little bit more than the Lions, unfortunately, this week.
There you go. There's the NFL. There's a couple of big coaching hires. Harbaugh to the Chargers. Like I said, he was going to take an NFL job. I thought it'd be the Raiders. My opinion, I thought it'd be the Raiders. Chargers, I think it fits him better. He's got Herbert there. He can work wonders there. The Falcons hire Raheem Morris. You saw our Instagram or our Twitter, no, Instagram or our TikTok. Please follow us. Um,
What grade would you give that
you'll
hire?
know that, in my opinion, probably a B. I feel like he's younger. What? What, Grant?
B? He's
Yeah,
the defensive coordinator of a subpar defense.
that's why we got a new one.
He's a
What
B.
happens in the
Gave
NFL?
him a B higher for defense coordinator of a subpar defense.
I think that he's going
I'm
to
not
be able
saying
to work
I'm not
wonders in
saying Arthur
Atlanta.
Smith's better. I'm just saying y'all could have gotten a better head coach.
I'm sure that I wanted Mike Vrabel out of all things, but it's better than Bill Belichick.
True.
So
Well,
I like the hire. I think that's. Is there any other NFL coaching hire? I think
I mean, not that I can think off the Titans.
Tyrants hired
Callahan.
Brian Callahan.
Brian Callahan, yeah.
Uh, Good for him. Younger
Yep.
guy, offensive minded, was an offensive coordinator. Worked with Joe Burrow. Now he gets to work with Will Levis. Big downgrade, but time to try something new. I feel like they should have kept Mike Vrabel. I feel like he had a bad year and he had a lot of turmoil on the offense, and I feel like they gave up on him kind of quick. But that's my opinion.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, Barrett, your team is still looking for a head coach. I think Bill Belichick is going to take the job. Not going to lie.
No, we're just
Who
waiting.
do
We're
you want?
waiting. We're getting Ben Johnson. I think it's been fairly well known that he's the guy that Josh Harris wants and Adam Peters, the new GM, wants as their guy. I think this Lions postseason run, I guess you could call it, has really slowed down just overall the head coaching hires. Because I mean, I think their offensive Ben Johnson and their defensive coordinator are all pretty high up on every team's list of potential candidates, and they have not obviously been able to offer them the job due to the Lions going this deep into the playoffs. So I think some teams were forced to maybe settle for a guy that maybe they didn't like, or teams like my Commanders, they're just going to try to wait it out and hope maybe this weekend if the 49ers win, then they'll be able to make their hire.
Yeah, I mean, I think that both their coordinators, the Lions coordinators, they're going to get jobs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be Commanders, and there's another job opening. It's leaving my mind.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yep.
Seahawks. So, do we think Bill Belichick's going to get a head coaching job again?
If he does, it'll be Seattle. I mean, the Commanders early in the coaching hire, Belichick was thrown in there, but as it's progressed through all these hires and stuff, he's been less and less linked to go to Washington. So I'm gonna say no, but don't rule out Seattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I don't think. I don't think that if the if the Commanders don't go after him, then he's definitely not gonna go in because that was the only place I saw that would fit him just a little bit. And so if the Commanders don't get him, then I think he's just gonna retire.
There you go. That wraps up NFL pretty much. Uh, Next week we'll have Super Bowl preview, and I think I can go ahead and announce this. Me and G Russ, we will be on Splat Picks for the Super Bowl Picks show. Big exciting stuff there. You catch us on that. If you don't know what that is, check them out. They're kind of our, I guess, sister show. I guess that's how you would the correct terminology there. A lot of good stuff over there. Check them out. There we go. Barrett, do you want to give a quick little rundown of your weekly winners, if you have any at all?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know I'm
I'll
kind
give
of putting
you.
you on the spot.
Yeah. One comes to mind for college basketball. I'm gonna have to go with the Iowa State Cyclones. They've had a very, very good past couple of weeks. Honestly, I think teams of people, me, I think some other people that I know have kind of been doubting them a little bit. They knock off the number 2 Houston Cougars, and you think of it as just a one game upset, but they've proved that they are a formidable force in the Big 12. They knock off Texas, I'm pretty sure, right? And then they've knocked off Kansas yesterday. Their home atmosphere is incredible. Iowa State, they had a whiteout yesterday when the Jayhawks came to town. They're just super good defensively. They're very sound on the offensive end, very physical, and they made very nice big time plays and knocked off a very good Kansas team who's very veteran led and well coached from Bill Self. So big win, just great week for Iowa State, and I think they're a team to look out for heading into March Madness because I think they're going to make some noise.
There you go. Is Texas the softest school of all time? Okay, because when they come to Thompson Bowling Arena, you know who's going to be throwing the most horns down? This guy. I hate Texas with a passion, and for them to whine over a simple hand gesture, it honestly pisses me off. They're not SEC ready. I don't think that like SEC don't care if we do that. Okay, we don't care.
Uh,
I mean, we get mustard
Florida,
bottles. You
Florida
know,
complaints.
people hold those up. That offends me. So we need to remove those. Okay, no mustard bottles from any SEC stadium we go to. I went to South Carolina in last year with Hendon Hooker. He got injured. You know what the dude behind me did? He handed me a mustard bottle. Why? Makes sense. Okay, that offended me as a Tennessee fan. I didn't like that. But by gosh, I'm going to throw some horns down. Okay, that pisses me off. That what Rodney, whatever his name is,
Rodney
Rodney
Terry.
Terry. Yeah, whines and complains. He's going to get fired. Adios. Grant, are you going to be throwing horns down?
I mean, yeah, but
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
going to do it
you're saying
respectfully. Okay.
people freak out over hand gestures, but like, there's still teams in the SEC that get mad over stuff like that. So I think you are, no one really wants the SEC expansion, but I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean,
Um,
What school
I
gets
wonder
offended?
this.
Florida, chomp.
I wonder how much of this is more so Rodney Terry as opposed to the whole Tech, because I feel like Texas football fans, obviously they don't like it when people throw horns down, but before that, you haven't really heard too much about as much as the past week or so has had. When you walk into the BYU arena with the school of devout Mormon Christians wearing some shirts that say horns down, and you ask them to take it off, I think that just proves to me that you're very soft and it's getting in your head. I think Rodney needs to be focusing more on his team's play because they have not been playing very well this year, rather than people wearing a T-shirt with the letter H on them and his buddy to the left wearing the O. I think he needs to be focusing more on the game rather than the fans. So I think Rodney Terry will be politely asked to leave this offseason. I don't think he really was deserving of that job. I think he rode Chris Beard's coattails the whole year last year. So, yeah.
I 100% agree right there. I think Oklahoma's SEC ready. I think that they can take it. I feel like
Mm,
out of the best teams, out of the two, Oklahoma, I mean, going into an SEC crowd, you're going into Death Valley and
yeah.
LSU on a
Mhm.
Saturday night prime time. Yeah, Oklahoma's going to be ready. Texas,
No,
like you're going to get yelled at. You're going.
I think that Texas, they're not emotionally ready. Like they have the most talent and everything. It's just emotionally and the fans. That's the only thing they're lacking to me. Like
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
their play is gonna be fine. Their play is gonna be at least top half of FCC in probably almost every sport. And so to me, Oklahoma lacks in a few areas. Like Texas is overall just the more talented team out of those two. So to me, I see Oklahoma struggling a lot more out of the gate than Texas.
I mean, like from a team standpoint, like record standpoint, yeah, they're going to struggle more. But I'm saying, like, if they can handle the pressure, handle the heat, I think that they will be able to better than Texas. The only way I think that Texas's downfall in the SEC, at least for the first couple of years, is that they're not going to be able to live up to the big pressure moments because every week you're not going to be playing Oklahoma State. No offense to them, I'm sure it's an intense environment, but it's not going to be as intense as going into Neyland Stadium, going into Alabama, going into Death Valley. It's not going to
Go
be
to the
that
swamp.
intense.
The
No one,
Going
swamp.
to the swamp, the swamp is an underrated environment. I think a lot of people
Oh, yeah.
overlook it as one of the toughest environments. If you ever been to it, it's literally just straight up vertical. That's how the stadium's set. And same thing for Kyle Field. Texas
Yeah.
isn't going. They're not. They're going to Kansas. Okay. No offense to Kansas, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, but Texas is not the same as Kyle Field. And even if Kyle Field, even if Texas A&M's 3-5, they're still going to be loud. They're still going to be rowdy. Kansas, they could care less. So yeah, there we go. Any NBA news, Grant? That we're missing
uh,
here,
I
or
mean,
Barrett? I mean,
everybody's the past couple of weeks been high scoring with Luca having 73, 73. Joel
Yeah,
had seven.
73.
Joel had 70. Booker had 62, 63.
Carl Anthony
It's
Towns.
yeah. I mean, it's still impressive. I'm not saying it's not, but I mean, it's just not as impressive as it used to be. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious to me. I mean, because I mean, it feels like 50 now's the new 40. Like I feel like it's go. I mean, 70 still like 70s. I mean, obviously not many people have done that, but I mean like Donovan Mitchell did it last year. So to me, it's not incredible like as it used to be. I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell's a bad player. I'm just saying that. I mean, he's among the
I still
bottom half
think that
of
it's like,
superstars
I mean,
in
yeah,
skill.
I get what you're saying, but I still think that dropping 73 is still pretty impressive.
Well, yeah,
Like,
I'm
I'm
not,
not,
but I'm saying like
That's
it's
pretty.
becoming more common. It's not special. It's not as
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like not everybody needs to be getting hyped over somebody dropping 70 as much anymore.
I think the way the game is changing, with the positionless basketball, and obviously, if you look at the shot selection from, the year 2024 to even really 2014, the amount of three pointers that every player is shooting is astronomically higher. So you're going to have more high scoring games, obviously. So just the ability to space out the floor with 1 through 5 players, you're not putting the big man underneath the basket the whole game. It draws out the lanes for people to get in and get more drives to the basket, and then it's going to space it out for drive it in and then collapsing and kicking out for threes. So I think we've seen this past week scoring is going to go up.
There you go. I mean, like when I went to an NBA game, I went to the Hawks Kings game, okay? And they didn't warm up with like any mid range shot. They just shot threes.
Yeah.
Like they had Harrison Barnes out there shooting 40-year-old Harrison Barnes out there shooting threes. I know he's not 40, he's like 28, but still, I mean, Harrison Barnes is young. Okay, Grant, don't look at me like that. Younger. Uh, the game's changed, and I think that now is it more valuable to have basically five smaller, no, I'm not going to say guards, but forwards instead of having one big center? Or do you still need that true center? I think Wimby's kind of a special case there. He's a guy that can shoot, a guy that moves like a guard, but is as big as a center. But I'm talking like Yusuf Nurkic, Clint Capella. Like, are those guys still needed on a day-to-day basis in
They're
the
more
NBA?
they've moved to more of a backup big role because like
Yeah.
you see like Andre Drummond,
Yeah,
he's backup for the Bulls, but I mean probably the closest thing to that is probably Shaq or well Joel Embiid right now.
yeah, or Jokic.
I mean, even then, though, both of them still knock down the three. And you look
Yeah.
at Chet Holmgren, who's just another version of carbon copy of Wembanyama, in my opinion. I think the game is moving towards, you're going to have a lot. People are not going to be as bigger and bulkier now. They're going to be more 7'3" range and slender, and they're going to be able to. The mobility aspect of them is just going to be their biggest key. So they're going to play like guards, but at the end of the day, they're 7'3", so they can go in and get rebounds. And I think that's going to be the new wave, just blocking shots, moving around, spacing the floor, and let's see how many points you can put up, and hopefully you can get couple key stops down the stretch of the game to win the game.
Yeah, and also you see I mean, those bigs that play like, the way Hunter was asking, they're starting to move to different leagues. You've seen Dwight Howard and DeMar Cousins to move to leagues in Asia, and so you can see that, they still want to have a predominant role, but it's not fitting them, so they're having to go overseas in order for to get what they want right now, and not move to a
But
back.
even Dwight Howard, if you look at his highlights in the Chinese league, he's putting up 3 pointers now. Like
Yeah.
the game is a changed game. Like a couple years ago, he's a dominant back to the basket post, but now he's having to come out, set ball screens, pick and pops, and he's got to be able to at least knock down a three to space out that defense, like we said earlier.
There you go. Moving on to another sport, baseball. Not a lot of news there. There's still a lot of free agents that are kind of floating around. I think that the Yankees are still going to make one or two big moves. I think that the Dodgers are possibly going to make another big move. I think that the Braves can make another big move. I
You don't
feel
want
like it's all just kind of hanging in the balance there. And it's kind of when the first one falls. I know we've been saying this for weeks, but when the first one falls, they're all going to fall. Hector Neris signed a huge deal to the Cubs, what he wanted. I feel like the Yankees were in there, but
Well, who
that's
do
a
you
lot of
think?
money. I know he's good, but he had one really, really good year, and the other years they were kind of not worth the money that he got type years. So,
What do
um, but
you think that? What do you think the first big domino is going to be? You think it'll be Blake Snell, or do you think it'll be like someone like Bellinger?
I think Bellinger. I think that Bellinger will be one of the first ones to fall. I think that Snell. It's kind of tough for Snell. I really don't know why he's not getting the looks that he is. I mean, I'm sure that teams are interested. I mean, the Yankees, I know, have reached out. But it, it stinks for him because he got overshadowed by a pitch in the MLB. Well, that dude's really good. Um, you really, I mean, you know how he's going to play, but do you really know how he's going to play in the MLB compared to the Chinese league? He's going to be good, but how good is he going to be? There's a lot of questions heading into, I think, this MLB season. And yeah, but I think Bellinger will be the first one to fall. Snell will probably be one of the later ones, in my opinion.
Where do you see Cody going?
Ugh, Cody Bellinger could go back to the Cubs,
I
although I
see
feel
him.
like the Cubs.
Sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I thought you're done. I see him. I see him kind of doing what Seager did and go into a team where he can be the star. Like where Seager started when he went to the Rangers, he was the star there, and everybody was kind of confused by that. So I think he might go to a team that like the Rangers that have money and finally realize that, we're not going to draft our way into a World Series team. We're gonna buy our way into that. So I see him do something maybe like I don't really know. I don't know anybody off the top of my head, but like the Royals has spent a lot of money. Maybe the Royals, maybe somewhere like that for him. But I mean, I don't really know. I feel like he could go anywhere.
I feel like he wants to go to a big market. I think that
Yeah.
the Red Sox would be a great fit for him, even though it pains me to say that as a Yankees fan. I feel like Boston would accept him, really. I'm sure the Yankees would accept him. If the Yankees sign him, very crowded outfield, so you can move Bellinger to first base, but then you got a lot of first basemen. It's kind of like do the Yankees really need him? No. Would they take him? Probably. But I think that ideally he's probably going to sign with Boston or back with the Cubs. I would say the Brewers, but they signed Reese Hoskins. Um, so yeah, I don't really know where he's going to go. Maybe the Angels.
Yeah. I see him. I mean, I think he's a flashy player, obviously. I know I'm a Dodgers fan. He's a very fast, flashy, big time player. I don't see him going to, no offense, Hunter, to the Yankees. I think not that the Yankees don't, but I just don't feel like that fits his personality with all those rules that they have. And like you said, it's not like strategically wise, it's probably not the best fit for him. I think the Red Sox, though, that would be a nice, you're in the same division, nice move for him. He's going to be guaranteed a lot more playing time, probably get some more money, maybe. I mean, I think that's just a better move for him. He's going to have a lot more of a substantial role into the lineup as opposed to going to a big team that doesn't, like you said, doesn't need him, but they would obviously take him. So we'll see where Cody goes.
There you go. Trying to think of anything else really big in the sports world going on.
Uh,
Um,
it's halftime now. 17-7, Chiefs.
17-7. Oof. Trying to think of anything else. I mean, the Royal Rumble happened last night. Big night for
Won.
wrestling.
Give us a rundown.
So on the win, so there was only four matches. I'll give you a quick rundown here. There
Much
was a
better.
lot of anticipation heading into this one, and did it deliver? Not really. Um, Bailey won the Women's Royal Rumble. Um, then Roman Reigns retained his championship
Shocker.
against AJ Styles, LA Knight, and uh, it, uh, Roman looked very weak in it though, and I thought that he was going to lose it to AJ. They all kind of pinned each other at the same time. One of those spots, if you know what that is. But he retained Then Kevin Owens faced Logan Paul for the United States Championship match, and Kevin Owens got disqualified because he punched Logan Paul with brass knuckles. Therefore, that's a DQ. Usually not in WWE. They usually hide them, but they got caught. DQ. It's probably going to set up a feud for Elimination Chamber, possibly WrestleMania, because we're in WrestleMania season. And then Cody Rhodes repeats as Royal Rumble winner. He pointed at Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is in the skybox. It's going to happen again. And yeah, it was enjoyable. It was 5 hours of wrestling. It's a lot of wrestling. But I enjoy it. And I'm excited to kind of see what happens at Elimination Chamber. Big Monday night because CM Punk finished second. And so now it's going to be, what does CM Punk do? But yeah, a lot going on in the wrestling world right now. Some of it I'm sure we don't want to talk about. So there you go.
So, I got a question for you, Hunter. If you had to choose one, who would be your favorite wrestler? Favorite WWE superstar? Current roster right now.
Current roster? Ooh, that's a good question. I like a lot. LA Knight was my pick throughout the year, and then they signed CM Punk. I was a big CM Punk guy.
Yeah.
But I think I'm still gonna go LA Knight. I just like how he does everything, cuts his promo, then walks out. That's all you need to do. But yeah, probably LA Knight. CM Punk a close second though. All time is Shawn Michaels. Big heartbreak kid.
Okay. Yeah.
Kid.
Yep.
There you go. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Ever? I'm not gonna lie. I know it seems weird now, but when I was like 9, I loved Roman Reigns, so probably him.
The big dog. I was in his big dog
Yeah.
era.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
look
really, no. It'd be when he was in the Shield. So
yeah.
there you go. Well,
Love
I
some
don't think
love some John Cena too, of course.
who doesn't. He's gonna retire soon. It's gonna break my heart. But I think that's about it, sports wise. We're gonna get a longer episode out to you next week. Now that we know that we can do this on Zoom, we might have more guests on, which is exciting. We didn't figure that out. We're not the smartest over here at the Splat Sports Network, but we make a pretty good dang show. So, any final thoughts from you all?
No. I mean,
Mars for all.
hopefully next week I'll get my segment back. I'll get some weekly
Yeah,
winners for y'all next
sorry about
week.
it.
It's all good. Yeah, just looking forward to see what these conference championships have to hold. Another great week in college basketball, which is kind of probably my favorite cup of tea in the sports world. College baseball starting up fairly soon, which will be something
Yes.
something new to watch, obviously. So it's a good time in the sports world. So yeah.
There you go. Do you rest anything?
Nope, Lamar's a fraud. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
If they lose.
Okay. Oh, if they lose. Okay. Well, we will catch you all next week. It's gonna be Pro Bowl week. We probably won't talk about it. We might. Hopefully, something big happens in the sports world that we can talk about. But yeah, we will see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry if this episode felt rushed because it was. And yeah, Jesus loves you.